Hello everyone. So understanding how systems work is also a skill. We have what is called system analysis and design. So you can analyze and design systems. At the same time, you should also be able to predict the output of a system after you have come to understand how it works. Talking about this, I want to talk about what's called leadership and the concept of achieving goals in terms of set objective. For instance, if you are a teacher, you can go to class, teach your students can get positive outcome or negative outcome. If you are teaching people how to plant seeds, you can teach them to plant them on a hard rock or on a fertile land or on a swampy area. If you are a constructor, you can teach people how to build houses on a hard rock, on a, in the Bible it's written on a bedrock where the houses can stand for long. Or you can teach them how to build houses on sand where their houses will be swallowed by sand over time. Now, dictators over time, not to talk about this, but for example, if you are the president of the country and we have a crisis, you can say, you can say we have shortage of proteins, we have shortage of sugar. We can import more sugar to cater for the shortage, and at the same time, we can take initiatives like encouraging people to plant more sugar cane. So in the long run, we don't run into shortages. But if you are a president who don't want to take responsibilities, you can ignore all this and say, Miss you are queen, or you can say, I don't care about you people because they're your subjects. And after 10 years or after one financial year, you can have a financial report where you have lost 80% of your population due to starvation. So you can analyze the impact of your statements or the impact of your decision. So running away from responsibility is not the solution to solving long-term problems. If you are a teacher who is teaching students, you go to teach them every day. Before you start lesson, you start by telling them that you are not their parent. Yes, they know you are their teacher, but they will not understand what you are teaching because you already told them you are not their parent. Now, in their mind, you are not someone who can guide them. If you are teaching people, maybe you are teaching people how to use a product in advertisement, you separating yourself from the product, saying this product is, I'm not the owner of this product, it's for the company, I know nothing about it. That one, you'll be sending away potential investors. So we come to know that everything works as a system. If you are a leader and you have ignored your subject, you have said You subjects, you're not my people. Yes, you may be powerful. You have done a very powerful thing. You have implemented lots of power. But you're forgetting that when you wake up in the morning, you need tea. The tea is being prepared by farmers. Sugar, we need the farmers. Need the least labor to produce that good. If you need food, someone must do agriculture. You can't meditate and get food. Mm. Everything works as a system. So if you don't want to work with people, or you don't want to work as a team to implement something, it's like you are trying to run away from responsibility. You may be very successful, you have everything, but at the end of the day, all those things you have, you need people to manage them. You need people to run systems. After you have built a system, everything works as a system. So if you have to implement anything, or you want to be leaders, the best thing you can do is to take responsibilities and not run away from responsibilities as leaders. You can't say that you are a leader and you behave like you are so. A young person is asking you for advice. You tell them, Miss Queen. Miss Queen. You want to show them that you are very powerful. You don't want to associate with them. Uh, they are less powerful. They don't have power. You have power. Okay. At the end of the day, you need tea. You need coffee. Whether it is grade 1 or grade what, it is prepared by a farmer. So we should all need to understand that everything works as a system. And if you are able to build systems and enable people to support those systems, you will be building a family, you're building a community, and you will be building a country. The responsibility of each and every one of us is what makes up the family, the society, the country. For example, we have the East African community. We can't say we don't want Somalia because it is a dry land, doesn't produce green vegetables. They may not be producing green vegetables, but they have minerals and some skills. We can't say DRC Congo has agricultural products, but there's a lot of war there in DRC Congo. So we can't kick them out of East Africa. We can't say Kenya is corrupt, so we don't want Kenya in East African community. Everyone in the community has a responsibility to perform. And the responsibility of each and everyone in the community is what makes the community stronger. Even the church, the responsibility of each and everyone in the church is what makes the church stronger. If the pastor wake up and say, my, you're no longer my members of the church, hmm, will you go to the, you will go to the heaven alone. Utakaa kwa mbinguni peke yako. You need people to be with you there in the in heaven. So you should be very picky information you get online. Leaders should lead, not using Machiavellian method, because some things you will see the impact of them after 10 or 20 or 15 years. is when you will see the impact of the decision you as a leader you make now. You are very powerful. You make a decision on your subject. See people like Robert Mugabe. You have dictated, you have gathered all the resources for yourself. After long, you escape the country because you can no longer dictate on your subjects. They will overthrow you. Mm.